Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be. This is NerdTube, and this is the breakdown of Vince McMahon stepping down as CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment. I am DOZ101, and with me is Ginger Greek, Zamario, and as soon as he can figure out his connection, Edwin is with us. How are you all doing today?
Hot as balls.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
There was a nice breeze earlier, but the breeze is gone now, and now I'm roasting like a me.
Yeah. All right. So
I can't wait to find out all the revelations and all the aftermath and outcomes that can come from this scandal.
all right. Well,
it's like hell's frozen over all of a sudden. It really is.
Kind of,
crazy.
Yeah, kind of, but not surprising. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. Because, okay, for those that don't know, I'm pretty sure most of you know because the world found out about it a couple days ago. Vince McMahon has allegedly paid a woman $3 million. Wish it was $30 million, but $3 million in hush money to cover up an affair, which I'm kind of not surprised by that. Let's be real. Vince and Linda haven't been together in a long damn time. This must be going back. I guess she was a paralegal that started working for the company.
It was back in 2018 or 2019.
2019, yeah, 3 years ago. And I wonder if maybe she has a secret about Vince that maybe only she knows, and that's why this had to happen. Because it's no secret that Vince and Linda haven't been together for years. I think ever since her failed political aspirations. From 2012, I think they started kind of drifting apart. And I don't know if they have an open kind of thing. I don't know if they're swingers. God knows what it is. But that's what's going on. And the Wall Street Journal first broke this news. And, if it's coming from the Wall Street Journal instead of a wrestling website, this is pretty damn big. And Vince today announced that he's stepping down as the CEO and Stephanie McMahon is stepping in as the interim CEO. However, sorry to disappoint everybody here, Vince will still be overseeing the creative process of WWE. So if you're expecting the result of WWE creative to get any better, I don't know what to tell you. But let's get your guys' thoughts on this. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
starting with Zam.
Yeah, I mean, initially when I heard about this, I was thinking to myself, all the things that's happened in Vince's history. This is what him having a bit of tail is what actually finally gets him out of his top tier position. But it's a bit like when you hear about someone like Jeff Bezos no longer being CEO of Amazon. He still owns the fucking company. He's still the top tier guy. Yeah, and I feel like that with Vince McMahon, regardless of whatever his status may be within the company, he's still going to be calling the shots. But I do feel that maybe we are sowing the seeds to his possible retirement. Now, I mean, he is power hungry, and the idea of letting go is maybe something he's never even considered. But maybe we're getting there now. Finally, I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I was shocked when Wenger finally left. I'll be honest with you. You've been in our club for 21 years. I thought that day would never come, and it did. And this day will come as well when Vince is no longer in charge of the WWE. And maybe we're finally experiencing it now.
All right, Ginger.
Well, it goes to prove that you can be the biggest arsehole in the world. You can treat your employees like absolute human garbage. Like they don't belong to the company yet can't do anything out. They're like, what's the word? What is their status? Contractors or something.
Independent contractors.
Independent contractors,
like independent contractors instead of full-time employees. You could do all that. You can have countless affairs. You can
cover up a murder.
Fucking be the biggest piece of shit on the planet. But if you affect capital and you upset the shareholders, they're gonna come after you. That is where they draw the line. That is the line where that's unacceptable. It's not about the affair. It's not the affair that's brought down Vince McMahon.
It's the fact that he allegedly used company money.
Mm-hmm. And that is a no-no. You've got to have some. It affects their profits. It affects. It's just something you can't do. It's a protection within. Okay. Like if you're dipping into company money, it's like I think it's like there's a laws against doing that and things like that. And this is what finally is what's going to bring down Vince. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was all just you know a nice ploy by the other shareholders to finally get rid of Vince because he is
Yeah.
hurting the product. You can
But
make money, but in the long run,
to play devil's advocate, though, Vince does have, majority shares and all that bullshit. So to those that think, oh, yeah, they can vote him out, not necessarily. I mean, they can try, but as far as like getting rid of Vince that easily, it's not going to be that kind of
no.
thing. It would take it would take not only like shareholders in the board, it would take like networks, it would take sponsors, it would take the consumers, it would take the general public, and it would take the media all to put enough pressure on Vince to force him out. And I don't realistically see that happening. I could
No.
I
see.
just want to ask you a couple
Yeah,
of questions, if you don't mind.
go
So
ahead.
he was basically doing embezzlement, yeah, to pay for shags. Is that correct?
Not embezzlement. It's more just like misappropriation of funds.
hmm
And how much was he spending?
$3 million. That
$3 million.
we know of.
It's
That we
crazy in a
know
way.
of.
That's like pocket change for someone like Vince McMahon when it comes to his own money, and it just goes to show, like, with these motherfuckers, that they hate spending their own fucking money. They just want to store
take
it
it from the
and
company
stack it
instead.
up. Yeah, I mean, they never want to spend a goddamn dime. They just want to hoard it. And I'm glad he's getting some sort of repercussion for it. To be the truth, about fucking goddamn time.
Yeah. Although
he's been getting away with murder, literally, he's been getting away with murder.
Here's what's weird.
Covering up murder, yeah.
Here's what's weird. He's appearing on SmackDown tonight in character. Yes, he's doing that. Why, I don't know. Why the fuck would you go on television? You would
This
think
is a storyline, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised.
if he turns it into an angle or some shit.
Yeah, if he ups his appearances on TV now, because again, he's not the CEO, but he's still around. He's just not on the boards doing all the stuff while he's being investigated. But he's perfectly free to carry on interfering with creative. So here, this is probably him coming on to try and save face and to pull some kind of distraction. And either that or he just announces he's actually just retiring. But I very much doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, if anyone wants to pay me $3 million to shut up, I promise I'll shut up. Yeah, I think we would all take that. Oh, yeah, and by the way, okay, John Laurinaitis is guilty of this shit too, supposedly, because John Laurinaitis has been getting passed around these women too that Vince has been with. So John Laurinaitis, if anything, is going to be the first guy to go. Out of everybody in this, he's going to be the fall guy. Like,
he'll be the fall guy.
Yeah. They're going to be like, oh, John Laurinaitis is bad. And then we'll bring him back in a year when all this blows over. And we're going to act like nothing happens. Because if Vince McMahon could survive Jimmy Snuka murdering Argentino, if he could survive Owen Hart, if he could survive Chris Benoit, there's a pretty damn good chance he's going to make it through this. I mean, if Vince could even survive the federal government during the steroid trial, there's a damn good chance Vince will make it through this.
But the difference with this is the difference with this time round. Sorry, 1 second, Liam. The difference this time round is that back then he wasn't a public traded company.
Now he
is. Mm-hmm. And so there are greater implications. And although his majority shareholder, apparently it's only like 30-something%, rather than 51. So at 30-something%, he can be pushed out.
If there's enough pressure, they can do it.
There's enough pressure. Mm-hmm. But if Stephanie McMahon and Triple H and Shane have shares in the company, then obviously they're not going to push out their dad unless one of them does what he did to his own father and pushes him out. I don't know. I don't think anything's going. He's just going to get investigated, probably reprimanded. When all this blows over, everything will just be back to normal. Either that, or Nick Khan is going for the jugular, and then we'll look to sell the company next year.
Yeah, because I'm still in the camp of WWE is going to end up selling to NBC. Like, I fully believe that. Like, Vince will not be the majority owner of WWE anymore within, 10 years. Because I think Vince knows, okay, my time is coming. I'm almost nearing 80 years old. I got to get ready to look to get out. It's like I've made as much as I'm going to make. I've taken WWE as high as I'm going to take it. Now I got to get ready to see what comes next.
Yeah, and
And
he
I
has
think that's
no
where he's
interest in
going.
leaving it. He has no interest in leaving it to his kids.
Yep.
None.
I like the song lyrics.
Okay.
No pants. That's what Vince got. No pants. So now kiss your slung. Someone made an allegation, and now Vince is just gone. That's actually awesome. Nice rhyme.
Right.
And you also said puppets as well.
Yep.
I don't think Edwin Lowe's gonna.
Yeah, dude. Just Edwin, if you
no.
want to add anything, put it in the comments and we can read it because you're not going to show it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put it in the comments and we'll read
I'm
it.
afraid
Yeah,
so.
get rid of his window until he's able to.
We did try, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I see you come up on the screen, if I see you come up, then I'll add you.
Yeah.
But I can't add you while you're black. So
Yeah.
So Zam, what do you think is going to end up happening?
Well, unfortunately, I think Ginger shed some reality to me regarding this, saying that things, the dust will settle on this eventually, and it might just end up going back to normal. But this, for me, I do still feel like we are on the verge of maybe Vince finally no longer being in charge. I do think this is like when that time eventually comes, whether it comes from him passing or when it comes to him retiring, I think we'll look at this particular moment as
a
the
caveat
beginning.
as to like, okay,
exactly.
this is the start
But,
of it.
But it does surprise me because, in my opinion, of all the things he's done, having a sex scandal doesn't seem to be the most.
It's not the sex scandal though.
It's the money. It's the money.
The money.
The money.
The sex scandal is not the topic here.
But even then, considering the sort of money this company makes, £3 million or $3 million doesn't seem that much at the same time. I mean, it's a lot for us, but for these sort of people,
for Vince, $3 million is like $3 and change. Like that's how he looks at it. Like he's like, I got more money than God. I don't need, but it's the fact that he spent company money, and if he is found guilty of this,
there's a law against that. It's misappropriation of funds or something like that. And that's
it's gonna bring Vince down. But like y'all said, I'm pretty much in agreement. I don't think anything of this is gonna happen. I think Vince will still do what he does. He'll come on TV tonight. He'll either take a bump, make an angle out of it, or appear in a pre-tape segment just to kind of downplay himself, like, oh, I recently have these allegations against me, and I must step away for a while, and blah, 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 blah. But I don't even know if he'll do that. I think, if anything, he'll just appear.
I really feel like an angle's going to come from this. I really do. But
I think he's going to get his ass beat, and then that'll be his way of getting written off TV, because he always has to do some crazy, stupid shit when he gets written off TV.
We saw what it was like with him and Austin at WrestleMania. This guy shouldn't be in the ring either. He'll have someone represent him. I mean, the same way America represented him at Mania. Yeah. He'll have somebody to represent him, and that's probably how it'll be. Maybe the other person on the other side of things would be Steve Austin. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then they'll have a couple of wrestlers fight for their honor and fight for Vince McMahon to stay CEO or some shit like that.
Yeah, they'll do something stupid. I could see, like, people even brought up, like, what if they did that? People were like, oh, what if they were going to do like the Vince McMahon limo explosion thing? I'm like, no, they won't go that far. They tried that once and their stock took a hit. The last time they tried to kill Vince, it was like, no, they're not going to do a death angle with Vince McMahon. They wouldn't be that stupid.
They've always done something.
Coming as Ezekiel McMahon with a big beard.
Or like Ezekiel McMahon.
Like this, when they were doing the $1 million thing, and we bring people up, and
fell on him,
and the scaffolding fell on him and shit like that, and they've always like Vince McMahon has got fucking more lives than a cat.
Yeah.
Liam says, I hope
they do a poochie for Mitchell.
My planet needs me for some bad CGI has him flying away.
They could do it like how Kate McKinnon exited SNL, like, yo, Earth, I'm out, peace, and that's how that would go, like, Earth, goodbye. Yeah.
So regarding Nick Khan, like, what can he do? People be mentioning quite a lot.
Nick has been coming in one by one and literally axing the McMahons. Like, that's what he's been doing. He's been speed running through these motherfuckers. He came in and he took Shane out. He came in and he took NXT and said, fuck all, and forced Triple H out. And then he's kind of done the same thing to Stephanie McMahon. But Nick Khan
He
is
is
looking
he is the only man I've ever known in history that's able to manipulate Vince McMahon.
Yep.
He is because it's just like, look how much money we're making. Look, so I can just carry on keep doing what I'm doing, but look at all this money. And then when we sell this piece of shit, we're gonna make even more money.
Yeah.
Go do what you gotta do, pal. And then off he goes, and he's completely shit the company. I've never known. This is like this all this bullshit stems from Vince McMahon firing his number 2 and number 3 back in, I think it was 20, well, whenever Nick Khan came in, 18, 19,
yeah.
whenever. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Because they told
he fired them.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't happy about the streaming numbers.
Yeah.
And so he fired them too. Okay. And then they brought Nick Khan in, and ever since he's come in, things have just gotten way fucking worse because he doesn't give a shit about wrestling. He knows nothing about wrestling. He's a corporate guy. He's a Hollywood piece. He is the epitome of what I hate about Hollywood. It's just a soulless, money-hungry producer that just doesn't care about quality and it will go to any length to just maximize profits. And this is Nick Khan.
And let's not forget, Vince McMahon thought his fix would be bringing in Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff as executive directors. Look how it fucking lasted. That didn't even last all that long. Like, the first thing that they did when they brought in Heyman was they blew up the Raw stage or some shit, and they made it feel like an ECW angle, and the crowd was like, we don't give a fuck about this.
Yeah. The problem is, well, they keep going back to the old pool of producers and bookers and all this kind of stuff. They need to bring up newer guys. I mean, look what Triple H did with NXT. You need to go to people that have a fucking wrestling brain, not from the old territory days, but the kind of new mentality, and bring them in. You need new guys because you need to freshen up the product.
Do you think Stephanie is embarrassed to have him covered?
No, she's probably going to
it's business as usual. She's probably pissed at the fact that she doesn't get her vacation time now. But yeah, she's like, okay, I knew there'd come a time I'd have to step in for him. I just didn't want it to be this way.
I don't know. I don't watch this shit as much as I used to, but I think she's always wanted this, in person, like to be in charge, take over and stuff. A lot of people were looking at Shane as the one, but he decided to go into past this new, and he comes and goes. He flirts between the company. Mm-hmm. Stephanie's always pretty much been there, whether it be through Triple H or just herself. So, I think she wants this more than ever, and I think I think she'll take it with both hands. I mean,
the thing amongst themselves, he's gone.
Go on.
Now, I said once he's gone as well, she won't have to fucking try to pretend to be like him, because a lot of the complaints you're getting from backstage are saying like Vince is expecting her to be too much like Vince, and
that
it
ain't gonna happen.
Across as cringe. And so once he's gone, she'll just revert back to being the normal Stephanie who wants to run things her way.
And if you think WWE is woke now, if you think WWE is woke and progressive now, you ain't seen shit yet. Because I guarantee you, the day he dies, that's going to be their number one thing. They're going to be like, we're going to go full balls to the wall, progressive, woke, push all this shit. And that's what they do. I mean, they've been doing that, but they're going to ramp it up when Vince passes. I already see that now.
I mean, but they've also regressed a little bit. Like they're, if you look now, like the shift with the women's division, they're a lot more scantily clad, especially when they're not in their wrestling gear and all this kind of stuff. So once Vince goes and Nick goes, that shit's out the window. They're gonna go right back to just being like, you know what, just wear what makes you comfortable. Because Athena, who left the company, I forget what her name was in NXT. Ember Moon. She left. She was like, we have this producer guy that comes in, which she was referring to Nick Khan in this interview, and she completely shits on him. Her and Nia Jax did as well. Okay, and she's like, all of a sudden they turn around now and say to us, she's got to dress sexier. It's like, I'm not the type of woman that's here to be dressed sexy. I'm a wrestler who wants to wrestle. They want us all to be like Mandy Rose. And he goes, nothing against Mandy Rose. She can pull it off. She's gorgeous. But she goes, I'm not that type of woman. I'm just here to do my thing and wear what I want to wear. But they're pushing us now to wear more revealing stuff, and you've seen that kind of shift.
Yep. If Vince is appearing
And
on
women's
SmackDown, there's
division,
only one possible outcome. No, the Undertaker, yeah, Teddy Long, as much as I pop to see him, that ain't happening. But that would be funny, though. Undertaker walking out with his fucking walker and apple juice and applesauce and all that shit, being like, "You will rest in peace, dagnabbit."
Well, I was expecting more like Vince McMahon to be the one walking out with fucking applesauce and stuff like that.
Oh, he's getting there.
I mean, he's getting there. I mean, like
he's getting there.
Like, when I saw him fight, when I saw him have that little scuffle with Stone Cold at Mania, like Jesus Christ, Vince.
Yeah, that's
seriously. You got old man arms and everything.
If it were me, I know y'all would agree, but if it were me in 2010, that would have been the year to see Vince go. That was perfect. It was like, come on, dude. 2010, Bret Hart comes back, puts you in the sharpshooter. It starts with Bret, it ends with Bret. That's how I would have done it.
Yeah, that's when he should have stepped back, because he hindered a huge shift in the product, but he kept shitting on it because he was so reactionary to a slight ratings dip, rather than just going with what was popular online, because he disregarded the online audience at the time as well. So when you had like Nexus and all of that coming up, and he completely destroyed them, and then you had the Summer of Punk and your Zack Ryders and your Damien Sandals, and he's just not letting them flourish, and he said he buries them out of petty jealousy. This is what derailed the product. It just went to hell after this.
Yep.
You know, from 2012, especially from 2012 onwards, the product just became unwatchable.
Yep.
He should have gone in his 60s. He should have stepped down and pissed off.
2010 was
what stopped me from watching as well. So yeah.
2010 would have been the year I would have been like, okay, Vince, you're retiring as a character and you're getting off the board. I would have been like, balls to the wall, like, we're going to take this company to a new direction, and Triple H could have got the book to handle creative. Steph could have handled the day-to-day operations, and all would have been fine. But yes,
we have a troll in the house.
Cheeto. Yeah, long live Vince McMahon. Long live the Alliance, by the way. Long live the Alliance. Stephanie McMahon finally got her due. The Alliance won the
ministry.
Yeah.
So do you think, I mean, it does feel eventually that once Vince does, hang up his gloves or hang up his boots, but whether he retires or he can't continue anymore of passing or illness, do you think Steph McMahon would be a better CEO, a better person in charge?
Time will tell. I think she's gonna. I think, to be honest, WWE's gotten as high as they're ever gonna go. In my personal opinion, they really have. There's not much you could do to get people to tune in, because I know people are like, oh man, the audience seems to dwindle every single year. Well, you got to take in, I know this is going to sound kind of like, but you got to take in cord cutting. You got to take in modern technology. You got to take in the fact that wrestling in general has had its time, if we're being honest, because this goes to AEW too. They've had their time. I mean, it's only going to appeal to a certain audience, the hardcore audience. Like people like us, we left, we're gone, and we're not going to come back. It's like we are the demographic that used to watch this shit every week, but now as time has passed, we know what it is. It's like WWE's beating us over the head with, yeah, this shit's all scripted, it's all fake, there's no kayfabe, this and that, blah 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 blah, and they openly break kayfabe every 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, but also there's again, they always go by TV ratings, which in today's day and age, it's a bad metric to look at. What you have to go with is what's the online buzz. Because I can guarantee you a lot of people are streaming the shows illegally simply because, they don't want to pay cable prices, or we don't want to wait up until stupid o'clock in the morning to watch the show. So we're just going to pop it online and watch it. But the core TV audience that watches this, okay, the demographic is old, and there's 1.5 million, and this 1.5 million people are banding between all the products, your AEWs, your NXTs, your WWE. It's the same fucking viewers in every area, except for AEW's gotten in a higher percentage of the key demographic. But we're not talking crazy numbers. I mean, you bring in CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and all this kind of Bryan Danielson.
If you got Cole, Danielson, and Punk all at the same time, and they can't move the needle,
they can't
nobody's
move the needle.
Yeah,
that just tells you that look, wrestling is done. It's done. In 10 years' time, it won't even be worth something worth putting on TV as a cheap product to run because it just aren't going to be the viewers.
If anything,
the only constant that would guarantee is Impact will still be around for some reason.
Yeah, because they've managed to survive everything.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's the evolution of the product as well. Like it became stagnant. It never evolved, you know, and the only what they did end up doing was like doing this sort of like reality television bullshit. That's just not like the fans don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean? And like I'm watching people like Braun Breaker and stuff in a hotel room with these.
They named him Braun Breaker.
Yeah, and stuff like I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like I stopped watching the product for a few years, and now I'm getting this. I'm getting soap opera. I mean, it was always a soap opera, but it's actually become a real soap opera. Like, where's the fucking wrestling? Which always makes me harken back to that episode of South Park.
Signing up for wrestling class. Yay!
The World Takedown Federation.
Yeah.
The WTF. Yeah. And basically when they were actually wrestling, people go, "What the hell is this shit?" Because all they want
boring.
Monologue. You know what I mean? And exactly.
Vince won the affair, and nothing no one can say prove it wrong. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's not even English.
Get
this fucking hillbilly off of our screen.
English, motherfucker. You speak it.
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
And I know people are going to be like, "Oh, Vince cheated on Linda." Duh. No shit. I'm like, where the fuck have y'all been for the past 40 years? He's been done this.
A year's not gone by where he hasn't had his dick in somebody.
I mean, that was outside the company. God knows what he was doing in the company. Like,
he's fucking all the divas. He's been getting it from all of them.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like,
I can almost guarantee you,
couching them for sure.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee you he's been getting it on the side for years. People are like, "Oh man, how could he do that to Linda?" I'm like, bruh, the only reason they've stayed together is for legal status. And like Ginger said previously, if Linda didn't run for office twice, they would have got divorced years ago. That's what I believe.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, she would have been gone in the mid-2000s.
Yep. Yeah, there's a reason Linda hasn't left Florida. Exactly. Yep.
Oh, she's permanent in Florida then, not Connecticut. Oh, there you go.
Because people are like, are they still together? It's like they are for legal status, but they're not together. They're separated for the most part.
Yeah, I think Vince kind of alluded to it in Pat McAfee's
with that fuck up.
Well.
Yeah, with that fuck up. My wife at the time, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I mean my wife." It's like, yeah, dude, we know you've been fucking. You don't wear Jordans like on every day for a reason.
This isn't the ultra right Christian 80s anymore, mate. You don't have to pretend that you're married.
Yeah, because we all know you aren't.
Yeah, it won't affect the share prices that much. Embezzling money or stealing money from the company, that'll affect the share prices.
Yeah, that'll get people to come after your ass. But like I said, won the affair. Okay, yeah, but really, Vince is going to do, and this isn't even the worst fucking thing Vince has done by comparison. I mean, the man literally covered up one of his wrestlers during a murder like 40 years ago. That's like the worst thing he's ever done. Well, that and continuing a pay-per-view after a wrestler passed away. But
don't forget that when he dies, oh my God, Pandora's box is going to open. A lot of shit's going to come out. A lot of shit. People are finally gonna talk, because once he's gone, any non-disclosure agreements, I don't think they're gonna count for anything. So someone's gonna write a fucking hell of a book. And
Speaking of fucking,
when they do Dark Side of the Ring, even if Dark Side of the Ring ends as a product, they will come back and do a special on Vince McMahon, and it will probably be like
it's gonna be guaranteed. It's gonna be a 6-part special. Guaranteed. Yeah.
He's taking every decade of his life and saying all the shitty things he did in that decade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And speaking of Dark Side of the Ring, did y'all hear that WWE's getting involved with it? Because they're like, we don't like the fact that you guys did this shit, so we're going to come in and tell you what to do. So rest in peace, Dark Side of the Ring. That's all I pretty much have to say about that. Because now WWE's about to whitewash the fuck out of everything they're doing going forward.
Oh, what? Because they're doing their own version of it, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, but nobody's watching that shit though.
Nope.
Everyone's gonna watch Dark Side of the Ring.
Actually, no. That's what I'm talking about. Like Dark Side of the Ring is going away because WWE's partnering up with Vice. That's what the fuck's about to happen.
Oh no.
Yep. So rest in peace, Dark Side of the Ring. Those days are over.
They probably partnered up to get rid of Darkseid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just because we don't like the fact that you guys told the truth.
Is that actually confirmed, or was that a rumor on the wrestling sheet?
That's happening. That's actually happening. Yep. So Dark Side of the Ring, as you know it, no longer exists. So
hopefully
I don't even know if
4 will come out before they've done the partnership.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
No,
and then
look, at the end of the day, you know what? But the funny thing is they could easily just take the product elsewhere.
They could.
They could take the product elsewhere, relaunch it as something else, and just carry on making it. There's, you know, they can put it on Amazon, they can put it on Netflix, they can put. I mean, Netflix will fucking take the show.
And to think, speaking of Netflix, Vince McMahon is supposed to have a biopic on him. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see that. Especially now.
That's gonna be so vanilla.
Yeah, it is.
That's gonna be so. Yeah. I hate biopics because they never tell the full truth.
Nope.
Ever.
No.
There's only a handful of them that have been really good.
Guaranteed Benoit's not even going to get mentioned. Like when they mention like the dark times that he goes through, it'll be like Owen died, Eddie died, and then we went PG, and that's about it as far as that goes.
Not just Owen and Eddie. I mean, you know, you think of some of the wrestlers prior to Vince McMahon taking over the WWE and taking over all the territories. They did live a decent age. Vince McMahon comes along, and wrestlers start dying, you know, in their 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, and there's something to that. I mean, he did work people to fucking death. He really did, you know, like, people, you know, I mean, like, wrestlers are bragging how they're on the road 300 days a year, but honestly, this is not the way to fucking live. And then you wonder why they end up having to do fucking steroids and shit because they need to get themselves, they have to train themselves as well and find time in the day to do all of that sort of stuff. You know, he you know, like his greed, you know, knew no end. Only a few people made it to the top. There's so many wrestlers who've not made the sort of money. You know, a handful of wrestlers within the WWE over the past
if you're not Shawn,
have made.
If you're not Shawn, Taker, Rock, Triple H, maybe even Bret Hart, you're
Cena.
not. Cena. If you're not a lifer, you're pretty much going to be fucked because you're expendable.
I mean, you're expendable in the sense that you're not on the roster and all that, but a lot of them, like see, like Devon Brown and all this, D'Lo Brown,
can be agents and shit.
They go off. They do agents. They do training. In that respect. But yeah, you're right. It's very you fuck up your body, and then one day you're kicked out, and you've got nowhere to go, and the next thing you know, you just got to go get a bog standard job. How many? Bo Dallas is a real estate agent.
Yep, he's making his money. He got
wrestling.
the fuck out. Yep.
Yeah, he's quit wrestling and now he's a real estate agent.
Okay, speaking of life after wrestling, I figure before we wrap this shit up, Sasha Banks, because I know that's the big second topic right now, and Jeff Hardy too. Sasha Banks wants to get the fuck out. Good. Go do what you got to do. Good luck.
I thought she did get the fuck out.
Lawyers are working on it. Yeah, lawyers are working on getting her out of there.
Yeah, she wants to probably get into Hollywood,
And she may be heading to Ginger's favorite show of all time, Star Wars.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
She's got to give reason to
Hollywood. She can't act for shit, but just go to Hollywood anyway. Jon Favreau absolutely loves the arse off of her, so he's just going to stick her in a bunch of his stuff. But much power to her. Fuck it, why not? You know what I mean? Like nothing against her. She's just somebody who knows what she wants, and if she's a little bit of a bitch to get what she wants, that's fine. But you don't really get anywhere unless you kind of stick your neck out. And she's just been like, if you consider how the kind of matches she's had and how she's been booked and all this kind of stuff, she's very protective of how she's booked. She doesn't want to get bogged down into too many stupid gimmicky things. She's trying to kind of avoid that.
She's trying to master the greatest move in the history of the business. That doesn't work for me, brother. If she can master that, she'll be set for the rest of her life.
I don't think she's gonna go.
She's
I
not
don't
gonna
think
be
so.
AEW.
I think
No.
she's done with wrestling.
Yeah, she wants to get the fuck out. Her cousin is Snoop Dogg. I mean, for fuck's sake, that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, she's gonna be going off and doing like
Hollywood
stuff
shit.
as well. Because as well, there's the other factor. You know, you're always on the road. She has a brother with special needs as well, so she's probably gonna want to spend more time looking after him and all this kind of stuff, and do more kind of charity work in that regard. And you know, she's 28. You don't want to beat your body up. Or she's 28 or 30 or whatever. You want to get into Hollywood before they consider you too old.
Yeah.
And you've done what you're going to do in wrestling. What more is there to do? The
Yeah, you've
product
won every title.
is rubbish.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
you won every title. You main evented WrestleMania. It's not going to get any bigger than that. You've accomplished two of the biggest things you're ever going to accomplish.
That's
But
it. So
good luck to Sasha. Get the fuck out. Yeah. Good luck to Sasha. Get the fuck out. Create more demand for yourself and tell Vince to kiss your ass. That's literally the best thing you can do right now.
It seems to be like the way to go now. But before, you know, when there were territories that you could wrestle for other people, but now it's Hollywood. I mean, it really is, isn't it? I mean, was it Nikolai Volkov or whatever his name is, the one who beat Taker cleanly on SmackDown?
What the fuck? Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Like he's in movies.
Fucking what the fuck is his name?
Kozlov or something.
Kozlov, Nikita Kozlov.
Yeah, I see him in films and stuff like that. Even Nathan Jones is making fucking movies, man. You know, like he's been in a few films.
That's a name I ain't heard in years.
Ip Man. He's been in Ip Man movies. He's been in he was in oh god, that movie with Brad Pitt where it's set like during where he plays Achilles. I forgot the name of the movie. But yeah, he's been Troy. That's it. But yeah, so it just seems to be the way now. Like, you know, if you can't get yourself a little bit recognized in the wrestling business and try to head to Hollywood, you know,
Yep. All right. Good luck to Sasha. Okay, and then I think
there's Twitch as well. Don't forget Twitch. I mean, a lot of wrestlers were making more money on Twitch than they were wrestling.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, shout out to Paige. Good for you. Get the fuck out. Finally, it's about goddamn time. She's leaving.
I thought Paige was gone a long time ago. I don't get it.
She's been kind of there for fucking ever and hasn't appeared in like over almost 1,000 days.
No, we're getting a Paige fan and
I remember him. Yeah.
Yep. Big fan for that team with the oddities and ICP. God, I can't believe I remember that. Yeah, if he could do it, Sasha Banks will be all right. That's what I believe.
Sure.
But yeah, Paige wants to get Paige said that July 7th is her last day. Good. Thank God she's leaving. Thank God, because now she can. Yeah, now she could do what she wants to do. She's somebody that will go to AEW. I fully believe Paige will be one of those to go to AEW.
I know like Rusev, like he was making loads of money on fucking Twitch.
Yeah,
you know, he was doing really well. And what's his fucking name? You know, not Apollo Crews, Xavier Woods, whatever his fucking name is now.
Yep, up, down.
Yeah, exactly. Like the amount of money he's making probably from his YouTube channel, which has got like 2-3 million subscribers. And
but then you also have to take into consideration that WWE runs that.
Yeah, the good thing with the up, down, down is that it's a company that was created where he's kind of pushed the name and holdings of the company to his partners, so he can still make money off of it.
Okay, so even if he got fired,
he got very smart. Xavier Woods is a fucking genius, anyway.
Plus, he's got that
PhD.
Plus, he's got that G4 contract, so he's set. He'll be like, dude, I'm good. I could just fucking play video games 24/7 and be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Xavier Woods is done. He's probably got another couple of years. I hope they put just put an IC title on him, give him a run towards the world title, even if he doesn't win it. Just to say that, you know,
the New Day did shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to say the New Day did shit.
I would like to see that.
New Day helped carry that company for a long time. And they've always consistently put on great matches. Like I can happily watch New Day versus the Usos every damn week.
Yep.
Great
match. Yep.
So, but yeah.
All right, and then moving on, Jeff Hardy. When is
He's
Jeff
done.
Hardy gonna wake the fuck up and get?
I don't really
together?
care, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
But as somebody who used to smoke all the time and did drugs and fucking smoke fags and everything, if I can quit, then pretty much anybody can. I know it's easier said than done because his life probably means that he likes maybe to turn to narcotics because it maybe helps with the pain and stuff like that. I kind of blame maybe once again the industry that he's in, that he feels like he needs to do that.
Oh, but it's
But,
not the drugs you got to worry about because he's gotten off of that shit. It's the alcohol. It's the fact that
Yeah,
he's
he's just
driving
an
while drunk.
alcoholic.
Yeah,
Alcohol's
Yeah.
also a drug, mate. It
Well,
just
yeah.
happens to be illegal. It happens to be a legal one,
Mhm.
but still, nevertheless, I don't. You know what? I just don't care anymore. Like I
Yeah,
really
you
don't.
get to
Like,
the point where it's like, okay,
yeah, whatever. Yeah, if he survives this and gets back on the road again, and then it happens again, and then he'll survive that and get back. I mean, it's just a repeating thing now. I mean, he's lucky he's Jeff fucking Hardy because he's legendary status as a wrestler. So he's got that about him.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, he's got that dark side of the ring vibe about him as well. So I keep it. If he makes mistakes again, who cares? I mean, who fucking cares? He is who he is. So who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least he's not like
I agree.
he's not like some of these guys who are antisocial and stuff like that. He's just fucking himself up. He's not
Mhm.
fucking anybody else up. You know what I mean? So who cares?
All I could say is to Jeff Hardy, stop driving before you fucking kill somebody. That's all that really needs to be said. You shouldn't be
Yeah,
behind
okay, I
the
agree
wheel,
with
dude.
that.
But yeah. All right. Anybody else got anything to add about Vince or what you'd like to see happen or what you think is going to happen? Because I think Vince stepping aside, yeah, as a CEO, okay, it is what it is, but he'll still be ripping up scripts and acting like a fucking man child.
But it's going to be a first man standing match rather than a last man standing match.
I'm going to tell you how this one ends, Liam. Sonny comes in and wins the whole damn thing. That's all you need
runs
to know.
everyone over and just collects the prize.
Yep. Yeah. Sonny wins the whole fucking thing. That's the way it works.
I'm definitely going to be try and stay awake to tune into SmackDown later.
Yeah, at least I'm going to watch the opening.
What time is that? About 1 in the morning?
1 or 2, 8 o'clock. So I think that's 2 our
fuck
time.
That, man.
If I'm up, I'll watch it. If not, I'll just catch it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll most likely catch it in the morning because by the time it airs here, it's like, okay, it's almost time to go to bed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to add, but thank you guys for joining me, and thank you guys. We are NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you kind of sort of heard of. We're getting there. We cover Star Wars, movies, video games, all that kind of shit, wrestling, and Ginger has twins. You can see it all on our Facebook page, Fanboy Rates page and NerdTube. Yeah,
mate, he's got more than twins, man. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
he's got more than fucking
twins. You see my doppelgangers everywhere.
Yeah, he's got doppelgangers
so many fucking doppelgangers. It's unreal, man. Yeah.
I think the next thing we should do is review
the fucking blueprint that everyone else tries to imitate and does a better job. I mean, a worse job.
I think the next thing we need to do is review Shredder's Revenge. It's a fucking awesome game. Like once you guys get far enough into it, I think we might have to do that for the channel.
I'm gonna play that later today.
Okay, yeah. Let me know what you think, and then we could set something up for a review.
All right.
All right, guys. I am DOZ. I want to thank Ginger and Zam for joining me, and thank you all for watching. We are NerdTube, and we will see you next time. We are out. Peace.